Once again, Elizabeth Vargas.
Every parent of every child in every hospital clings to one sustaining hope, that whatever's wrong can somehow be fixed. But Nathaniel Newman's devastated parents don't even have that.
How long did it take each of you to not flinch each time you saw Nathaniel?
It took me a year.
A year?
A year. A year. I almost cried every day. Every single time I looked at him, I could not believe it's my child. I couldn't believe it.
Nathaniel has a genetic condition called Treacher Collins syndrome. Unlike a typical infant's face, he was born without cheekbones, eye sockets, or ears. But most harrowing of all are his breathing complications. His nasal passageway is nearly solid bone, and his airway is so narrow, it's like trying to breathe through a soda straw. But as different as Nathaniel looks on the outside, that's where the differences end.
Did you tell them his brain is unaffected?
That's really important. Because when you look at children with craniofacial conditions, you think cognitively they are not going to be developmentally normal.
Other than his appearance and how his life functions, breathing, eating, etc., he is no different than any other boy.
But because of those malformations in his face in his first year of life, he has more than 10 surgeries.
We've never done cosmetic surgery on Nathaniel. Everything we've done his whole life has had some benefit to life function.
When Nathaniel is 1 month old, an emergency tracheotomy is performed. A breathing tube is inserted into his throat, a procedure as life-altering as it is life-saving.
Once you become dependent on a trach,
Your life was just
your life changes, and then he's going to be prone to infection, which ended up proving to be true. Where a normal parent, bath time is this cute, wonderful experience. For us, you're worrying about, what if water gets in there?
But they remain committed to that pledge they made to Nathaniel on the first night of his life, to raise him as a, quote, normal boy and take him out into the world.
We lived in New York City, we walked with a stroller and everybody was, oh, you have a baby. And they were, let me see the baby. And they were like, God bless you.
That was the
Oh, my
worst.
son. That was the worst.
By the time Nathaniel turns 2, Russell and Magda are settling in to this version of parenthood, yet they still long for the chance to experience it without all the heartache.
I wanted to have a normal, I wanted to see how easy it is.
Nurse a baby.
Yes, definitely, for sure. But we were scared to just do it on our own.
Because of the hereditary nature of Treacher Collins, there is a 50-50 chance their second child will have it as well.
We did every test known to man, and they basically came back and said, we're 99% sure your second child will not be affected with Treacher Collins.
But there is no way to know for sure until delivery day finally arrives.
This delivery was so quick. I walk into the hospital, 20 minutes later, Jacob was born.
Jacob literally came out looking like a porcelain doll. It was just gorgeous, beautiful.
The simple joys of motherhood, so easily taken for granted, were for Magda extraordinary.
It was just so easy. This is so easy. You just have the baby and you just hold it and try to breastfeed it.
Throughout the years, Nathaniel and Jacob shared all the moments and memories that brothers do. But for Nathaniel, things were always different.
How old was Nathaniel when he first noticed looking in a mirror, I don't look like everybody else?
Definitely around age 4 or 5. He could clearly vocalize, I don't like the staring, I don't like the name calling. At that age, we're going to birthday parties and other kids see him and scream and leave. He knows it was about him.
I traveled to Reno, Nevada, where the family now lives after Russ got a new job. It is finally time to meet Nathaniel.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
And this is Nathaniel.
Nathaniel is now 11 years old and has had 53 surgeries.
This is Sam.
Nice to meet you.
I bring my son Sam along, who, like so many kids, has never met anyone like Nathaniel.
I watch the games on my iPad.
We've come to do some of Nathaniel's favorite things.
You're supposed to beat the levels somehow.
Video games, going to the trampoline park.
Dodgeball!
How do you explain how you look different?
I just explained that I have Treacher Collins, and I know everyone looks different, except I look a lot more different than everyone else.
Does that bother you?
No, I kind of like it. It just seems fun because I stand out.
I'm curious, when you realized, hey, my face is different from other people's faces.
When the first kid called Monster,
The kid called you a monster?
yeah,
That must have hurt your feelings.
yeah, and then I realized that they don't do it to anybody else, so I was different.
How did that make you feel?
I was insulted.
Yeah, I'll bet. Were you mad?
Yeah, I guess, a little, sometimes.
Why do you think kids do that? Why do you think they say mean things to kids who look different?
Because they don't really think about what they're saying, and their parents don't really do anything about it.
Go ahead, guys.
And over the years, Nathaniel's differences have affected his little brother Jacob, too. He can sometimes find himself acting more like a big brother.
Your parents were telling me how when you were so little and kids would be mean to Nathaniel and you get up there with your little fist and go, hey, leave my brother alone.
I still do that.
You
But
still
I get
do that?
more into it.
Do you think of yourself as your brother's protector?
I think he can protect himself pretty good, but sometimes they're just big high school kids that I have to talk to by myself.
How old are
Some-
you, Jacob?
Almost.
You're almost 9.
Here comes superhero Nathaniel.
Sometimes I forget I have Treacher Collins.
You do?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm having a good time, I forget what I look like.
So when we were ziplining, did you forget you had Treacher Collins?
Yeah, I was just having a lot of fun.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.